In Korea, it's a little bit similar to China about weeping in public. Chinese will weep with you in public. And they do a similar thing, they will hire people to weep more. It's not as big as it is in China. Also, remember, Korea is divided country almost 100 years now. That one day, the wire just went across the fence, just like happened in Berlin. And people didn't go home. That grief has been translated down, the stories translated down. And many Koreans keep that alive for their ancestors in North Korea who have died to have memory, and for them, it's not alone my mother and father died, but the people in North Korea who have also died. Then now they have joined together, So this part about Han is the lots of sadness. You don't really need to use this, but just to give you sort of an idea of what this culture is in this way, how different it is. They have their own. Korea has its own characters. They don't use Chinese. They don't use Japanese characters. It's their own. It's like Vietnam has its own, its own language. It's sort of like, well, Ireland has its own alphabet too. You'll see that, but So we're talking about this Jion. This is a very important. So Korean comes to see you, very similar. You want to be very respectful. If they bring their adolescent in to see you, they want the adolescent to change, not the parents to change. If you say to the parents, how about if you approach this way? No, I'm the parent, this is how I do it. They do it. You have to be, in American family, what I discovered in counseling, sometimes it's so easy. American families, just tell me, could I do something different to get my kid to eat spaghetti? And you give it to, and then you're a hero. Oh, well, I know somebody else down the road needs your help. Would you do that with Korean? No. You have resistance. They don't say it, but So they need to know you first. And remember, their country is really just, when you're in Seoul, I've been up to the DMZ zone. It's just up the road. And there is a sense of this grief already, and it's sort of like they come from the Republic of Korea. Now they're here and they're seeing their son and daughter sort of like flaring all different kinds of ways, and all they're thinking about is their relatives in North Korea. So you and I become very important to them. It's more of a question like, how can I help you how can I help your son to stop smoking? Do you have any ideas? So they'll be in partners with you in that way. But if you ask, is there something you could do to change that maybe help your son to make some changes? That would be more right here, family that grows up in America. But this is immigrant family. It's going to be chaos for you. You'll feel the tension right away. So you blend with them as if, yes, I think I can help your son. And you say to the son, why you smoke? I don't know. Is that how he treats you? Yeah. See, disobedient to you too. This is a bad boy. This is bad son. You're embarrassment to everybody. You know, I'm going to send you back to China, to Korea, with my grandparents, and they will, and they do. And they send them back to the auntie, the grandparents, and it will happen. So, where therapists struggle with Korean parents is they sort of think, oh, well, I had a Chinese family, there's kind of neighbors. No, that borderline across where the river was, Koreans were never allowed to cross that border into Korea. They'd be shot and killed 100 years ago. So when North Korea was born, and it's still there, it sort of like kept the Koreans out. And Korea is Korea, and that's what they don't want to be called Asians. They're Korean. They're not from a peninsula. They're from Korea, Republic of Korea. They're very proud of that. But why do they come to you? They're coming to you to help to stop your son smoking, or to stop your son, get his son to turn in his homework, or whatever it is. Or get their daughter to wear a different code going to class. Does that make sense? Like, you see where the little predicament? So when they call on the phone, they usually won't say, I'm Korean. I mean, I would know the Korean just by the voice. And if you say, well, how can I help you? Call about the son. How can you want to bring your son? Well, if you say, I think I can help you, your son. No, I will help you. Saying, oh, you think you will? You're a doctor. What kind of, to me, like, it's your job. That's what you're trying to do. So you're saying, I can do that. Then, okay. And then after a while, it says, I thought I could do it. I'm not successful. I'm sorry. If you go blame the parents, like, well, why don't you guys change? You have more of a disaster. But it's almost like you want to take some of the blame. I thought I was going to be successful to help him stop smoking. Boy, I'm really disappointed. It's not successful. No, it's okay. It's okay that I think you did as good as you can. Let's keep going. Then they appreciate, when you say, like I was, that's okay, because let's keep going. Let's keep helping him. They're not going to say, okay, that's the end of the story, let's go somebody else. No, they don't want a referral. You are the person. They don't want to go somewhere else. Remember that being shifted around from one to the other? They don't like that. You are now their family doctor forever. So now you have, first of all, you said you could do it. And then you've said, I failed. Medication didn't work. I had one Korean family. I think I saw them for about 6 months. Now this was 6 months. I saw him a long time. And that's a long time in Korean calendar. Usually they want action and about 3 or 4 visits. They want change. So your view is different. So it's sort of like, and I said to the mother, is there something you could do maybe that might help him? And basically what I was saying to her, could you back off a bit and not to be so stingy with his time for his homework? He doesn't have to get A in everything. Oh boy, I made a mistake. You know that book, The Tiger Something Something? Have you read it? It's in your references. Called, is it called The Asian Mother, the Tiger and the... Yeah. This is like right in front of me. This is mostly written about Chinese, but you see it in Korean more in Chinese than in Chinese. Chinese parents are more inclined to work a little more with you, and Japanese parents. Korean is sort of like, I mean, you will see some that will do it, but don't go there so quickly. Like, unless they say, is there something I could do that would make it easier? They might say that. So, I had to patch that up, kind of like saying, God, like you, sorry that I ask you so much, you already have, you have to work, you have to do this, pay the bills, and then your daughter is still like, you know, not turning her homework in or whatever it was. It rescued a little bit, but it really changed things from there on. It was never really the same. Let's do a Korean interview. Okay, we did the Chinese one. So, okay, so I'm a Korean parent, and I bring my two kids. One is 12, and the other one is 14. They're crazy about soccer, and they want to be in this, what you call it, in the football, the cheering team, what's it called?
Band?
No, when they're
Cheerleader?
yeah, they want to be a cheerleader. And they're only getting C in there, or B, let's say they're getting Bs. And I come to you I want you to make sure they get A's. That's my presenting problem. So let's say I've said that on the phone. So now, what would I walk in and what would you say? So you've you've come out, greeted me. The chances are the father won't come in. The mother is going to come in. Father is most difficult to get to come in together. Even if you say father has to sign the consent form, they're not going to turn up. Have them bring it home, or you can do it. You can sign my name. So you see, like already, and they're going to turn up like that. You think he's coming, and she's, where's your husband? I don't know. Maybe he's coming. No, he's not coming. So, okay. But let's say you did get the consent and you got it. Have a go. What would be like? So I'm sitting down, and similar to the, let's say the Chinese when you said for the parking. No, I'm Korean. So Korean is, don't ask me about parking. That's not what I came here about. They want to go right to the topic. So, sorry to put you on the spot. I tell you, don't ask like, oh, I hope you got a good part. No, it's like wasting time here. It's. Do you see like the contrast? It's very settled. When you go into it, you have Korean forever, and more Koreans will come to you. So I help you out. Supposing you say, so all of you are, I'll be the counselor. You be a Korean parents. Okay. Okay.
I want to be a Korean child.
Okay, be a Korean child. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So you're not doing your homework and you're 12 years old. Do you have to be 14 to be on the squad for cheerleaders?
I think so.
Okay. All right. So, okay. I understand you would like for your children to get A's at school. That would be my first, because that's she said on the phone. So I skip everything else, go right to it. Now we're... So, okay. So let's say you are a mother. What would you say? Yes. Good. One word. Good. Yes. Great. And what would you say? Perfect. That's really good. And you would say, your Korean mother. You would say, remember your immigrant Korean mother. You would say, try to say it in one word.
My daughter doesn't listen to me.
Huh? My what?
My daughter doesn't listen to me.
My daughter. Try to put it in one or two words. Okay. Chances are she won't say it like that. Yeah. She will say something that's going to make it really difficult for me. But that's not her intent. But it's sort of like, wait a second. Remember, I'm the doctor.
She doesn't respect me.
So the one word might be disrespect. My daughter, disrespect.
Oh, okay.
Say it like that.
My daughter disrespects me.
Okay, see? So, yes, disrespect. Now, what do I do? Ooh. So, let's suppose and then I go right to the daughter. I don't sort of say, that must be difficult for you or very painful. This is just going to be a waste of time. You've got to fix this in 50 minutes. So, let's say your name is Mary. Mary, you're disrespectful to your mother. How come you're like that? You see? Like direct. How come you're like that? So now we're buddies.
So you're aligning yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanna be in the soccer team. I say I don't know how Korean child that is in American school, how would she behave? Would she behave more like Korean child or more like American
American.
child?
She wanted to behave like American child. Oh yes, they wanted to be. They wanted all the slang, everything. Oh yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanna be in a team.
So we're saying, so I'm not going to reflect either here. This will be a waste of time. So you want to continue to be disrespectful to your mother? See, so now you're starting to hate me. And you want to leave, you see what I mean? And it's sort of like, but this is... And let's say your brother is sitting next to you, and you're going to say, this guy is really stupid. Just say, let's go ahead, just for role play.
No, okay, he's really stupid.
And I'm really stupid.
Yeah.
He's really stupid. And so she heard it, but she's not going to say anything. You're going to hear about it later. Disrespectful now to me, shaming her. See where this is going? Now mother is shamed. Mother is not a good mother. She is like, she's not doing a good job. She's failing everywhere. Now, in front of mother's eyes, the daughter has put me down, told me I'm stupid.
So the mother takes responsibility for daughter's behavior in this case.
Exactly. She is feeling so enraged and so, but you don't see it, you don't hear it, you don't smell it. There is no indication it is sealed off from ancient time.
In the mother.
In the mother. And the father usually won't be there. You know. So when she goes home and the daughter still respectful, the husband is going to tell her, you're doing a lousy job. You take him to that man and he's doing a lousy job. And the daughter says, yeah, he's really stupid, Dad. See, now she's alone. She's like, and what am I concerned about? Suicide.
Wow. Gee whiz.
Yes, I'm concerned about, she's bad? No, it's not. I've really lost my place. And the father's parents are going to be calling her, says, you're really a bad parent. And you're back to my, so it gets more generational. So suicide.
Because of the shame.
The shame. But how am I going to see you alone to talk about that? I might say towards the end, just I'd like for both of you to wait in the waiting area. I'm talk with your mom, your mother, not mom, mother, for a moment. And they might say, if I use, she's not my mother, she's my mom. You know, it's kind of things like that. It goes on. So to be sort of staying center, not to get pulled into the daughters, and you're kind of enjoying it, the little acting out. It's kind of fun, but you know something is happening in the mother. And so you spend a bit of time and say, I just have one question, like, and you know, according to the doctor's training that I get, I must ask you this question. Doctor's training. It's not coming from me, it's coming from the doctor's training. Something like that. I want to know, do you think about killing yourself? Go right to it.
So you would say it directly like that?
Yes.
Are you thinking about killing yourself?
Yes. She might say, no, no, no. Or she might say, it's not like, do you have fantasies about that? It's a relief for her to somebody acknowledge that. It's almost like reading her mind. She might say, yeah. I was thinking about doing it Sunday morning when they go to church. And they come home and find me. Because I would pretend to be sick. It's Friday, 5 o'clock. So just want to give you sort of like a little, so let's suppose there's a death. Parents have died in Korea. Or they come back from Korea after burying the parents. And my parents are dead. And I'm letting them down. So she's letting down her parents, letting down her husband, and her husband's parents. So she's in a different predicament than any of, kind of similar a little bit in India. Similar, but it's changing in India like this. But Korea has held on strongly to this blame the mother. But nobody says in Korea blame the mother. The grandparents blames the mother, and you never hear about it. The father will do it, but nobody else hears about it. And the father joins with the kids, says, Mom, and the kid says, yes, Mommy will talk us to this stupid counselor. He's stupid like my teacher. The father is not saying anything to the daughter, don't talk to your mother like that. The mother is not saying anything to the dad. Every time you treat me like that, I feel like da-da-da-da. So let's say she commits suicide. Then you have this huge memorial. Father is crying, wailing. Kids feeling bad about it. It's a huge ceremony. And that's suicide. So why does Korea have suicide? So it comes sort of so settled in you know. So there's no marks on her body for hitting. It's the verbal, what we say. The thing about suicide in Korea, it's not really looked upon as suicide. It's not like said like that. You know, it's mother died. You know, it's not. It's looked upon kind of differently. You know, there.
So it's not necessarily a bad thing in that sense.
Well,
It
it's
might reconcile.
yeah. It's not bad or good, or the father doesn't go, oh God, like we have to change things in our family. You know. But the grandparents could be saying to the husband, you know, you're a lucky man that she died. I mean, you're a lucky man that she died. You need another woman that's more, you need a woman that's, yeah, you need a woman that can really raise your children the right way. Yeah, she was doing a lousy job anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't hear about that, but it's sort of like within that. So, but take this in general, things are changing. It's practical. Things are changing in Korea, but it's not changing in the same way as like in Japan or in Taiwan. And think of Korea, how it is. It's such a small country. And when you go to Korea, they will take such great care of you. They are so polite, so generous. You know, they don't want any tips. Their generosity. They will actually invite you more to their home. The Japanese will wait longer. They will invite you. And because they're so appreciative of what America has done. And just the last thing you know about the women, what they will call the comfort women, are now speaking up for the first time, which has risen a new horizon towards Japan. You know, thousands of Japanese women, thousands of Korean women were used for sexual objects by the Japanese army during the occupation. So when war happens between China and Japan all those years, it always happened in Korea. They would fight there. And, you know, and then nobody would win and they'll go back home. And then 100 years later, they're back again. And this is sort of like, so when America came over in 54 or something, I mean, it was such a golden time, and they never forget that. So you go into a Chinese restaurant, I mean a Korean restaurant, so it's great food. It's completely different. Japanese food is completely different. And you're American. They don't say to your face they don't want to, like, because they don't give compliments or they don't receive. It's the way they act. It's sort of like you are really important to them in that way. So that's the kind of courtesy that's there in that way. And it's, if any of you have a chance to go to Seoul, Korea, and take the bus, it's only about, I think, 25 miles to the border. You can now go up into a plaque and walk into North Korea, but it's a wooden, you're up about second story or third story in this wooden, you can see in with binoculars, you know, from there. They have different tours, and hopefully that it's not a foggy day. But North Korea, I mean, the border is like this with mountain hills. And it's like they come up in the point, they go down in the point, it's very bushy, it's really hot in the summer, bugs, and really cold in the winter. Ooh. Okay?